told you people that my sister's son was between $25,000 to $30,000. Yes, it was that deep. It was so expensive. The hospital I went to is one of the cheapest hospitals in that city. You can pay up front, you can pay after, you can pay in installments. Even if after you're done having a baby, just you can still pay in installments. These people just want to see that you have money. They don't want a situation whereby you get stranded and can't pay hospital bills, because this is something that will cost every time. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your favorite girl Tiffany Eweka, aka Sergey, that Nigerian based in Ghana YouTuber. What's good? If you are a returning subscriber, thank you for always coming back. You guys are the reason why I've not fully given up yet on our YouTube dream. And if you're a returning subscriber, you are welcome. I'm sure you probably stumbled upon this video maybe out of curiosity, maybe you saw it on your YouTube recommendations, maybe someone shared a link with you, or maybe you were searching on something relative to this conversation. Well, any which ways you came, I'm happy you're here. Sit back, relax, be comfortable, because we're about to get into today's video and I'm going to talk plenty. So let's go. So for those of you that are new here, you probably don't know me like that. So I had my baby 10 months ago in Canada, and I dropped a video on this channel about the process of having a baby in Canada, everything you need to know. But ever since I did that, I've noticed that I still get a lot of DMs and comments asking me some questions that maybe I did not properly address in the previous videos. But that previous video, I will actually share a link. I will leave the link in the description box for you guys for like your own viewing purposes, and if there are maybe things that I might not mention on this video that have already been addressed there, so you might want to see that video before you even see this, or any which ways you want to get into my DMs right now. I've screenshotted a few of them, I think 10 of them, and different questions. If some of them are similar, I will not read about them, but we'll just talk and just understand. So the first question is from a lady called Beatrice, and Beatrice is like, hi Tiffany, I am Beatrice. I watched your YouTube video on giving birth in Canada. You mentioned you had a friend who used a midwife to give birth. I am also a tourist wanting to give birth in Canada, but I don't have a huge sum of money for hospital birth, so I want to go the midwife route. I would be grateful if you link me with your friend to help me find a midwife, please. So I've already replied Beatrice. Unfortunately, I could not link her up with my friend for the midwife because it doesn't work like that. I have told a lot of people in my DMs that having a baby in Canada should not be a spontaneous thing. It should be something that you plan, you sit down and plan. I expect that if you've gotten your visa, you should have known like, okay, this is the province I'm going to. Don't just get a Canadian visa without knowing the bearing, knowing your left from your right, because it will save you from a lot of trouble. So but then I did explain to Beatrice on how she can go about getting a midwife, because that's why I'm here to help you guys, right? So personally, I was going to go the midwife route. I mentioned that in my videos before, but because I had a circular, so the midwife people, they bounced me when I went there. They said they could not, you know, help me because it's not within their jurisdiction of what they do. So to get a midwife now, Google is your best friend. I promise you. You have to know the province at which you're going to, So I already knew I was going to Ontario because I have family, I have an auntie there. I knew where I was staying, I knew who I was going to stay with. That was just it. Do you understand? So in that province, she stayed in a city called Paris. So now she was like, let's just look for midwife homes. That's what they call them. Yeah, midwife homes around Paris, but we're not getting anywhere within Paris, that city. So she was like, okay, let's look for some around Brantford or Brampton, because those places are like 40 minutes, 45 minutes away, because we don't want somewhere that is too far. Just imagine I'm in Paris and I'm getting a midwife home in Toronto. No, that will not work, because Toronto is like 2 hours from where I'll be staying. So I actually applied to 5 different places. I think 2 were in Brampton, 1 was in Brantford, I think the other 3 were, I can't really remember, and 5 of them bounced me. People, I was feeling like, you know, that rejection of maybe applying for a job and like I'm just getting like, sorry we can't take you, sorry we can't take you. At the point I was just getting like, oh my god, what is happening? And I remember telling my husband that, see, as we're not getting this better said that thing, maybe it's a sign from God. Maybe we should just also start preparing like proper money for funds, like if we're going to get a doctor, because getting a doctor was about $1,200 to get a doctor, to book a doctor, and that's the doctor's fee, and also the hospital fees, like within, then we went that was between 10 to 15,000. and my husband was like, that's a lot of money. I was like, you are the one that said I should go and give birth in Canada, so we're already kind of setting our mind for that. Then the 6th place actually accepted me, and I was so happy. I was delighted and everything. And when I got to the place, when I went to Canada, of course, and we booked our appointment, and of course they'll give you an appointment date, sorry, when they confirm you. When they gave us the appointment date and I went there, they were like, oh, you have a clash, so we cannot actually like work with you. Maybe next time. They do not work with complicated pregnancies. That's another thing you guys should know. If you're having a complicated pregnancy already from the start, because they'll do a lot of blood checks, vitals and everything to find out that you're having a normal birth, you know, your baby is okay, no complications whatsoever, and that's when they'll take you. So their terms, so it's not just about, oh, I want to have an easy birth, and you go that route, and you understand, maybe you say Tiffany said this, I know, so you must have a normal, you must be fit, like properly fit and having a good pregnancy for a midwife to even take you. So that was what I told me Beatrice, that she should just go online and search for places within the province or within the city that she will be in. Next question. Good day, I am Treasure from YouTube. I'm planning on having a baby in Canada, but it's my 3rd child. How can I source for a hospital in New Brunswick and get a doctor? I think New Brunswick is a province in Canada, if I'm not mistaken. And get a new doctor. Did you rent a place to stay in an Airbnb? So she's asked 3 questions in one. So sourcing for a hospital is pretty easy. I think you have to know New Brunswick, like I said, is a province. There's a city obviously you're going to stay in. I'm not familiar with cities in that province, but let's just say you're going to stay in city A. You get, so within your city you want to find a hospital that's about 30 minutes away. Whether it's another city, whether it's within your city, you'll find a hospital online. When you find a hospital online, you call them most times, and they will tell you about their doctor center. Most doctors, I don't know how they do in New Brunswick, I'm just speaking from the Ontario point of view, right? So when you call the hospital, right, you would be directed to a doctor center. Then you call that doctor center and you tell them that, oh, you are pregnant. I'm just saying what I did. I'm pregnant, I'm having a baby, I'm 30 something weeks gone, I need a gynae. Then they'll tell you the most available or the closest available dates, and they'll probably assign you to a doctor. That's what they did for me. Although they gave me a late date, but I needed like an early date because of the situation I was in. Like I had a clash and all that, so I needed to see a gynecologist like ASAP. So by God's grace, I was able to, rather they're giving me a doctor that was going to be like 2 weeks before I give birth, because over there they don't do like, you see the way we do the 2 weeks maternity visit like to your hospital. They don't do that here. Sometimes your gynae will only see you like twice. That's how it goes here, especially if you're having a normal delivery. Like nobody really has the time to see you so much. So they'll give you a doctor. After that, they'll give you a doctor that, oh, you come and see this doctor. They won't give you the doctor's number. They'll tell you to come to that place. So when you go to that place, you start seeing your doctor from there. Then when you want to have the baby, that's when you go to the hospital where you called initially to have a baby. So that's how it works. Then you said, exactly, that's how to get a doctor and hospital, source for a hospital. And you said, did you rent an Airbnb? No, I stay with my auntie. Yeah, I mentioned that before. Next question. Hello, sorry to bother you. You're not bothering me, please, but I'm reaching out to you because of your YouTube video on giving birth in Canada. I'm currently pregnant and my husband and I are willing to do the same. Can you give me the contact of your agent that did the process for you? I did the process by myself. It was pretty easy for me because I already had an aunt that is already more or less like a citizen, and she was able to write me an invitation letter. I had my bank statement and I have a very good job, so I was able to also get a recommendation from my office and all that. So it was a pretty easy, well documented process for me, plus the special grace of God, you know. So it was really no hiccups, because I feel like things like this, once you have complete documentation, is always not a problem. These people just want to know that you have enough money to come and pay and to have a baby in their country. They want to know that you have a good job or something that will bring you back to your country. So me having my husband that was here and family, they knew that I was not going to run away, and also having a good job that I'm coming back to, they also knew I was not running away. So those are one of the things they look out for. Next question. Hello Tiffany, I watched the video you made on YouTube on your experience with birth in Canada as a visitor. That was a great one. Congratulations. Thank you. I'm planning on I'm planning to give birth in Canada as a visitor. Please, I need your assistance on how to get an affordable hospital for C-section deliveries and accommodation in Ontario. So you see anything with C-section, especially the hospital I went to. In fact, it was even later on that someone told me that the hospital I went to is one of the cheapest hospitals in that city I was in. In fact, it was not in the city, I mean the Ontario. They told me that is one of the cheapest hospitals because it was a community hospital. I heard a lot, some other hospitals are very expensive, and C-sections are very expensive. Like I told you people that my C-section was between $25,000 to $30,000. Yes, it was that deep. It was so expensive, you know. God, and Baba God, now you do this one. So it was really expensive. So it's really hard to give you a quotation because I don't know. You probably have to call the hospital and they will give you the full quotation. These hospitals are very, very generous, like very, very nice, like really, really nice when it comes to giving out information. Shout out to Wanda. Wanda was the finance officer at the hospital where I gave birth, and she was always there to answer my questions, you know. Answer, can you give me a quotation for this, quotation for that, even before the process began. She was very, very good to me. So you want to find a hospital where you want to give birth, and you have to just contact them and ask them how much, you understand. But I'll just say now it's 2024, things have changed, things are more expensive. I'll say just budget from like 30K. It's better to have so much than be doing kitty. But one good thing about Canada is they believe in welfare over money. So even if you go into labor, you have your baby, they'll tell you to go home, then they'll send you to bill like a week later or 2 weeks. Don't even think you are use that and run away, because if you try and run away, better police are waiting for you. So don't even try that. And to get accommodation, I don't really know how to get accommodation. Like I've said before on this channel, I stayed with my auntie. So before I even went to Canada, I already knew where I was staying. I already knew how I was going to feed. I already knew how everything was going to go. So it was not a spontaneous thing, because I noticed that a lot of the DMs or comments I get are people that are just trying to be spontaneous, or oh, I've got my visa, let me just travel. No, don't do that, please. You don't want to put yourself in that kind of pressure. You and your baby, it's not healthy. Next question. Someone says I'm also almost due. Okay, this person is asking for a midwife contact. I don't have a midwife contact number. Like I said, go on Google. You guys, Google is your best friend. You can get every single kind of information there, not even related to this, but anything. Just Google, you just get information, you get numbers there. And of course, because the Canadian number, okay, I've not mentioned this before, if you have somebody in Canada there, let them help you do the call, you know, consultation. Let them help you do the online consultation if they actually call you, because you don't want to seem like you are still in Africa. Do you get? Because that way they may not take you seriously. Do you understand? Calling maybe a Nigerian Ghanaian number, calling a Canadian number over there, they might not take you too serious. So maybe you just tell someone to just, maybe if you have a friend, okay, just pretend like it's you. Because I think that was what I did, like, oh, just pretend like it was you, so that they would just take me seriously. Once I got the free booking, they said that they wanted to book a call with me first of all to confirm my reservation to actually see them. I said reservation, my appointment, and my auntie called and just like, oh, you know, that kind of thing. So but when I got there, they knew, okay, I came from Ghana. But that's just a tip that you guys should know. So next question, someone says, can I guide on giving birth in Canada? Watch my previous video, you get everything you need to know. Someone says, I'm in next DM rather. Hello Tiffany, I'm pregnant and wanted to give birth in Canada. I already have a visa. I've seen your video. Is there any option to find a midwife on the internet? So I think this midwife thing is like I don't know what's having to mention it in my previous video, but I think it's the best, you know, the midwife thing, because it's freaking cheap, like freaking cheap. It's as cheap as at that time it was as cheap as $8,000. And some of them I heard don't even charge you, because some of them they are paid by the government, so some of them will not even collect money from you. That was what I heard, you know. And even the betting centers, they are very cheap. So at the end of the day, I think somebody paid for everything she did. She paid like $2,000 to have a baby in Canada. Yes, it's that cheap. So I know why people want that option. So my darlings, I'm not trying to like sound like I can't answer that question, but you go on the internet. Like I said, number one, the first tip is know the province of which you are going to have a baby, know the city in that province you're going to stay. Now look for midwife homes around that place. Google search, for example, like I said, if I'm in Paris, I'll say, oh, midwife centers in Paris. They'll bring a list of them for me, and I'll start calling or sending emails. You just start sending emails to book. You book, and you know, because it's abroad, they will try your emails. Okay, we can take you. Okay, we can't take you. They'll ask you for your date, those kind of things. And I'm telling you, out of 9 no's, 1 will be yes. So just try that, just do that. I'm telling you, you enjoy it when you start googling things by yourself and getting information, because that way you know a lot of things. You're like up to speed when it comes to information. So just do that. It's not, there's no special option. You just go online and search. Next question, how long should you spend? So ideally you have to apply for your child's passport, right? Yes, I have a video on that as well. You should go see it if you haven't. Usually it should take 15 to 20 working days to get your child's birth certificate, because you need a birth certificate to actually have to apply for your passport. I mean, you have to apply for the birth certificate. Once you get it, use it to apply for your passport. Now the passport is much easier to get. You know, the passport process is that's a whole video on its own, but let's just talk about it briefly. But if you want to know more about that, just let me know. I think I'll also link the video into my description box. So I had a very nasty experience with the whole process on getting my child's passport and birth certificate, because it got messy and everything. But ideally, I now heard that if you want to get your birth certificate on time, you can apply for immediate birth certificate, something they're about. When you go on the site, you see it, and when you apply for it, you know, they would actually ask you for the proof of your travel, proof that you actually need to go back to your home country, you know, this kind of stuff. Then they will speeding up the process, probably to get it to you by 15 working days or 2 weeks, as they say. And after you get that, when you go and apply for your child's passport, you would also tell them that you need an immediate passport because you're trying to go back to your home country, and that would also take about a week. They can do that in a week for you. You pay extra. Even with birth certificate, you pay extra as well. So after that, you can go back. You know, I would say you should heal a bit. So you probably just want to have an open ticket, and Canada gives you, like, you can save like 6 months duration. Yeah, so at a go. Then if you have a multiple visa, then you come back, and you understand. So I would just say you can travel when you are, she says 15 weeks pregnant. You can travel when you're about 33 weeks. You know, you also have to get a fit to fly from your hospital for the airline that you're actually going to take. Most airlines actually have that form on their website, so you want to download the form and fill it, have a doctor fill it. Most times some airlines will not take you if you're more than 36 weeks. So I'll say anything below 36 weeks actually works, but just plan yourself. Don't be a spontaneous traveler. Don't spontaneously go and have a baby in Canada. You know, plan yourself very well. So yeah, I think that would answer her questions. Recommendations, suggestions for a hospital or doctor, it depends on the province you're going to be in. Yeah. This is the second to the last question. Hello Tiffany, I'm pregnant and I wanted to give birth in C. I already have a visa. I've seen your video. Is there any options for that? Okay, the same question. Someone has also asked a question. This person asked about 5 questions, and I'll try to answer them as fast as I can because the video is already getting very long. The question is how the payment system works. Do I have to pay before, after I'm discharged, or installments? I remember you touched on this, but it wasn't clear. So yes, like I said earlier on, Canada believes in welfare over money, but that does not mean that they do not take their money. You can pay in installments. You can pay full if you are OBO before the beginning of the whole thing. You can just go and pay. I actually paid first of all. I paid everything because I was like, I want to just pay the hospital bill before. Okay, now I remember the 6,000 that person said. Yes, the initial hospital bill was actually $7,000. Imagine, but the whole C-section and everything is so expensive. Just the huge margin between the 7,000 and the 20-something thousand dollars is really huge. So yes, it was actually 7,000. I think not for this. I think 7,000 something. Yeah, and I paid that already up front because I'm like, I told my husband, like, let's just pay it up front. So you can pay up front, you can pay after, you can pay in installments. Even if after you're done having a baby, just you can still pay in installments. They will not disturb you. You just tell them, okay, I'm going to pay like in the space of 3 months, 4 months, I'll spread it. You can pay as when you have, but just finish paying before you leave Canada. So it works anyway, any which way. It's not like Africa, we thank God. Number 2, generally how long is the shortest visitor's visa? I do not know. I think Canada actually gives multiple entries. It's your Canadian visa expires when your passport expires, but at a go you can only stay for 6 months duration when you get to Canada. So if you stay for these 6 months, you can leave tomorrow, then book a ticket again, stay for another 6 months. You can either be there within or not after that 6 months period, duration period. So that's not how it works. So yeah, that's just, I think 6 months is the most you get at a go. Next question: how many months would you advise to plan for before flying back home? Was there anything else you did to ensure the fast process of your documents? I did everything to ensure the fast process of my documents, but I was literally on my son's just birth certificate for over 2 months plus. I wasn't getting it. It was very, very tough. But the passport was so easy to get. You know, these things that you have to just be a very, very powerful person, because the enemy will test you with things like this. You know, it's not easy. I would say, like my auntie was saying recently, that she'll use my experience. If anybody says they want to have a baby in Canada, she think that okay, this is what to expect. To just budget, like, I mean, just psych your mind that maybe for the next 3 months you might not get your child's birth set, so don't be in a rush to go back. You know, but there are other ways to actually do these things. I don't know, like I said, you can also apply for emergency travel birth certificate, and you have to state why. You have to give proof of why you want to leave. Number 4: if I don't have any family or friends in Canada, will it affect application when I need a Canadian citizen or PR to sign a specific document? For number 4, I don't want to answer that question on here, because I don't want to be held liable to anything that might put me in trouble. So if you want to know how to actually go about the number 4, which is if I don't have any family members in Canada, will it affect my Canadian blah 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 on any specific document? Of course, because you need a signature of a Canadian citizen. Yes, someone that's been citizen for I think at least 3 years. So if you want to know how to go about that, just privately DM me, please. Number 5: would you advise traveling with baby items before landing, or is it better to buy there? Personally, I had my travel luggage was my hospital bag. Because of the kind of pregnancy I had, I just thought that what if I go into labor? At least if I go into labor, let me know that my hospital bag is with me. You know, normally if you're going to even have a baby, your hospital bag is not supposed to be that big. It's just like a small travel size luggage, you know. So that was what I had. I had some baby items in there, but when I got there, I had, even before I got there, I had other things like the baby's car seat from Amazon, other different things. What I just carried was like, I think I went with like 3 pairs of clothing. I went with some small toiletries, and you know, nothing major, just like what I'll use if I was going to have a baby, like on the spot when I arrived, you know. So nothing really major, so you can just buy a few things, you know. I will say this, I've said this before, Canada does not have clothes. So if you think you're going to Canada to shop, Charlie, you're on a long thing. I ordered most of my stuff from the US because I had my cousin coming from the US to Canada to see me. I knew she was coming, so even before I traveled, I had bought a lot of things from Amazon and shipped it over to her house in the US, because I knew she was coming to Canada to see me. Because I didn't even know then that Canada did not have clothes like that. I just knew that there were a lot of variety on Amazon US as to Amazon Canada, but when I got there, I now realized that so this is the cocoa, they don't have clothes like that. So you might want to just bring some things when you're coming in. Still, although they're nice places. I mean, I went to Qatar to buy a few things for my son. That's Qatar's, right? And I also bought from Simple Joys. I mean, there are a lot of nice things. Most of them are kind of pricey, but it's very good, trust me. Number 6, the last question: what questions can I expect from immigration? Do I declare pregnancy during visa or on arrival? I did not declare pregnancy during my visa process. When I got to the immigration, they I don't know, I had all my documentation, so I wasn't really scared, but I'm human, so at some point I felt like, oh my god, what is going on, you know. Just be prepared. Hold money with you. I want to say that, please hold money. Hold at least, I think the amount of the most amount of money you're allowed to declare when you're traveling from Ghana is $10,000. Hold at least, or at most, sorry, maybe $8,000 with you. These people just want to see that you have money. They don't want a situation whereby you get stranded and can't pay hospital bills, because this is something that reoccurs every time. So you want to have money in your hand, you know. Just have some significant amount of dollars. When I say dollar, I'm not going to say Canadian, I'm talking about US dollars. Have some money, you know. Have your proof, you know. Like I went to the receipts from the, I went with the I think I made a screenshot of the email I'd gotten from the betting center, and also my doctor's appointment letter. I made a screenshot, a copy of it each, and I had it with me, you know. They even asked me to open my bank statement, to see my bank account, to see that, okay, let me see your net pay, what do you earn. They even asked me for my husband's net pay, different things. So you want to just go prepared, like, just, you know, they'll ask you questions like, where are you going to stay with? That's why I said that before you go to Canada, don't do a spontaneous thing. Don't be like, oh, I want to have a baby in Canada, so I'm just going to go there. No, I think it's better to be safe than sorry, right? You might go, you might not have anybody there, but they might not talk to you plenty at the immigration place. They might just let you go free. But in a case where they do stop you and start integrating you, you want to have like your documents and you want to know where you're going to, because I think at some point they even had to call my auntie to verify that, oh, I was coming to her, because some immigration people that day they will mean you that day, but sometimes some of them will just allow it pass. So it varies. Anyway, which ways, guys, I'm talking too much. I've come to the end of my video. If you guys want a part 2, let me know, or part 3 rather, since we already have like a part 1. It's like part 2. I hope I'll be able to answer your questions. Yes, please, on the passport application for your baby, where you need a Canadian citizen to actually like be your referee in a way, DM me. I don't want to say that on camera, just DM me and I will just let you know how to go by that in the most legal way, of course, but that information is like top secret, tier secret. Any which ways, guys, do not forget to like, share and subscribe. And let me leave this tip as well. When you're applying for your child's birth certificate and your husband is not in Canada with you, you don't want to include his name as a parent on the birth certificate, because when you include his name during the passport application, they're not gonna ask for your husband's signature. Your husband is not there. You have to send some document to him wherever he is, and that document takes like about a month or so to come out. So that one is going to delay you leaving. I mean, my son's last name is Sorge, which is my marital name. My maiden name is Eweka, but I was able to put out my documents. So it's what about the best is that it's something you can come back and always update. So don't put your husband's name on it. If you want to know further clarification on that, just send me a DM. I remember your favorite girl, Tiffany Eweka, aka Sorge, that Nigerian based in Ghana YouTuber. Do not forget to like, share and subscribe. Till we meet again, bye.